Hey everybody, as always, I hope you're doing well. It's DisThunder from the old Foosh.com. We're going to look at some more Mezco stuff today. This time it's going to be the 112 Collective Black Skull's Death Brigade figures from Rumble Society. God, I hope I got that right. I tried like 3 times to say that in one sentence. Most of you guys are well versed in what, the pink skulls and the Rumble Society is all about. Well, let's pretend for a minute that you don't. Hello there, imaginary human. So these different skull guys are like different parts of a crime hierarchy with like color-coded branches. And they serve to be up to all kinds of malfeasance and no good. Constantly at odds with Mezco's mascot character Gomez and the Void and Hazard Squad. And now that we've got a few different types of these guys, it kind of gives off the vibe of like a hierarchy, like I said. You could see the Pink Skulls Chaos Club as being like the entry-level guys, the patches, doing street-level dumb stuff. And then you graduate to like the Gold Skulls, which are obviously a much more martial arts, Eastern-influenced subsect. They get up to all kinds of ninja stuff. And then you have this Death Brigade, which clearly is based loosely on the Stealth Gomez. The bio says they may in fact be clones of him. And where the Pink Skulls are the kind of guys you expect to be out there, breaking bottles and stabbing people or lighting Molotov cocktails or stealing cars and crap, the Black Skulls Death Brigade come across as like the fixers. These are the guys that they call in when the action's getting too hot and they need somebody to actually come in and really take care of business. And so they're dressed appropriately for that. They come decked out in a strikingly similar turtleneck and pants combo to Stealth Gomez, but they have that distinctive green skull on their arms and on their backpacks, and paired with those kind of eerie, shiny black skulls and piercing, glow-in-the-dark green eyes. But that means if you have any of the Gomez figures, you already know you're getting one of Mezco's best base bodies with this figure. And that means you get some of the best firing gun poses of any figures I own. And that really makes these guys good for people even if you're not into Gomez and Rumble Society and stuff. Because they could easily serve as like a Splinter Cell type or, whatever generic Black Ops group you want to have figures from. Because you can't find work for guys in black turtlenecks with guns in your figure collection. I hate to be the one to tell you this, but you might be in the wrong hobby. Now, there's probably some folks that would have preferred maybe a different look altogether for them. But I think like with the goggles and the backpacks and the cross-draw rig, I think they have a distinctive enough look of their own. In fact, let's talk about that for a little bit. So it is possible to interlace the cross-draw rig and the backpack so they can wear them together. You kind of lace them in between each other. Anybody else who's had to ever untangle Alice rigs knows what I'm talking about. It can be done. And because they're not wearing like a rubber plastic vest, they actually get better range than Gomez does in the torso. So yeah, we line them up side by side. You can tell it's the same figure. But it's interesting how a different kind of rig and omitting a tactical vest still makes for a very different looking figure. And like I said, it's one that gets all the benefits of the Gomez body, which has great range of motion for creeping around and taking a knee and hiding behind stuff and kicking your own ass when needed. See, he can do it. But the big thing for me is how well he can wield that SMG, because he can cock his elbows in and get that right up close so he's looking right down the sight. Even better, it's my favorite kind of SMG, the World War II kind. That is an M3 grease gun. You can see the collapsed stock in the back there. And you run along the top there, you see the dust cover that pops out when you start firing. Removable magazine he has 2 of, presumably 45 ACP. But if that doesn't do it somehow, he has 2 magazines over here on the right side for what I thought was a .22 target pistol, but now that I'm looking at it closer, I think this is the Walther Airgun from the Bond flicks. For once you got me on that one. I don't know my air guns, I'm not sure. But of course I do know the M202 Flash, made famous by Commando, and also like the one that came with Harley Quinn. This time done up in that nice brushed matte metal color. And the usual assortment of grenades and C4 and detonators and stuff can all fit nicely in his backpack. If you're not a Mezco fan, 1, I'm not sure what you're doing on my channel. Number 2, though, you have to give him credit for the weapon storage. And you got to give him credit overall. It's a fantastic figure, and if you don't like the skulls, you just take a diabolic head like this, and he's got a balaclava. What's not to love? Honestly, I've been a fan of the Rumble Society thing since it started, really. And it's pretty hard to fault a subline that can bounce from like ninjas to Black Ops guys to West Side Story rejects to giant insect covert operatives without skipping a beat. So that naturally means a great big thanks to good old Mezco Toys. If you didn't get a chance to jump on these guys, I believe the waitlist is still going. But while you're waiting, you can always swing on over to thefoosh.com. There'll be a more regular type written review for this going up shortly, sometime the next week or so. And you can always see what no goodness I'm up to over on Instagram at Foosh DisThunder. Thanks, as always, for stopping by. I am having a ton of fun doing these video reviews, and I really appreciate you guys indulging me and making me feel like I'm creating something worth watching. I'm going to keep at it. We'll see where it goes. Take care. We'll talk again soon.